Hello and welcome to Full of Food. The new Ninja Possible Pot is an amazing piece of kit. It has 8 different settings, including a braise function, which is perfect for this traditional braised beef with fluffy dumplings. And the best bit, the dumplings are baked in the oven using the pot. Yes, it's oven proof too, so they have that addictive crispy top. On to the ingredients. So I've got myself some braising steak here, and as I said, I'm going to use this new Ninja Possible Pot. So braising steak, we've got some onions and potatoes, some celery, and some lovely chanteray carrots, flat mushrooms, Worcester sauce, sage, and then I've got a stock pot here, and then I've also got some olive oil, salt, pepper, and those dumplings. You can make your own dumplings if you want, but I love this mix. So on to the method. Nice simple one here. We're just going to grab all of our vegetables and we're going to chop them up into chunks. So just think about the size of the chunk in terms of how quick the vegetable takes to cook. So I go quite thin with the bigger bits of vegetable and then a little bit thicker with those lovely mushrooms there. Onto the potatoes, I'm just using some baking potatoes I had laying around. You could use any potato, depending on what it's like. It'll hold up in the stew or it will go a little bit fluffy. And I've got lovely chanteray carrots. So on to the actual cooking. Brilliant thing about this, there's a heat pad underneath, so it means that you can sear your meat in the pot without having to do it in a separate pan. So you're going to use the saute function on high to do that. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of olive oil, nearly run out of my oil here, but just a little bit will do. And then we're just going to pop those lovely pieces of braising steak in there. I quite like this braising steak rather than the chunks. It just means you get a really nice bit of steak in your stew. Good amount of salt and pepper. And then you just want to seal them. So you're just sealing all the flavours in. And then once that's all nicely cooked, you're going to put all of your vegetables in. So I just like to layer them up a little bit so that I'm sure that they're not all in one place. So that lovely celery, those carrots, potato, get those mushrooms in there, give it a nice mix, another layer on top, mushrooms looking really good in there. Make sure you get everything in, and then the next step is to get that lovely stock pot. I just got a stock pot. You could use a cube as well, one of the dried cubes. Pop that in there, and then enough hot water to cover. So depending on what your vegetables you've used, just make sure it just covers roughly to the top. Another generous amount of salt and pepper. Want this to be nice and tasty. And then I like to add some sage to my stews. You could add any dried spice you want here or herb, just to make a little bit tasty. And Worcester sauce brings out that beef, so just get a splash of Worcester sauce in there. If you love Worcester sauce, you can add a lot more. Now look at this lovely spoon. This comes with the Possible Pot and it's got a really good design on it, so mix that all up. It's got these little slats at the side that are really useful. And then the best fit, it fits on top of the pot. We're going to braise that for 3 hours. So braising is a type of slow cooking, not quite as low as a slow cooker, but it means it's going to nicely cook in those juices. When it's about 10 minutes towards the end, grab your dumplings. I'm actually going to use 2 packets here because my kids love these dumplings. Just add enough cold water to make it into a nice dough. So just going to stir that up until it's ready. There we go, nice dough there. When it's gone a little bit sticky, you know it's ready. And then you're just going to take the top off that lovely braised steak and have a little look. Now I can see here that I've got lots of lovely gravy in there. Those vegetables are cooked perfectly, but I just want to thicken the sauce a little bit. So good old corn flour, splash of water just to make a little paste there, and we're just going to pop that in, and as this continues cooking it will just thicken that sauce nicely without adding any unusual flavour to it. So give that a stir around. That gravy's going to thicken as it cooks more. Grab your dumplings and you're just going to randomly plop them on top. Don't need to be too pretty about this bit. They're going to swell up a little bit and they're all going to melt into that lovely gravy. Grab your pot, and like I said, this goes straight in the oven. Bring it out the oven after about 20-30 minutes and look at those beautiful golden dumplings. So now the best bit, we're going to serve. Pop a couple of those dumplings on the side. You've Got those lovely carrots in there. Look, the bits of steak have fallen apart. They're so soft. Lovely potatoes, onion and celery in there as well, and those lovely mushrooms. And then I'm just going to pop some parsley, snip a few chives on top just to give it a nice little bit of green colour. And there you have it, this beautiful 3-hour braised beef made in the Ninja Possible Pot. Perfect for a chilly evening. Sit back and enjoy those lovely dumplings.